We play yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of them candid conversations in here. Blessed, we're feeling like we're the big man's favorite Sunday where the blessings is overflowing. Listen, we're still on that reggae tip heavy, yeah? We're still on that reggae tip heavy. Black History Month, the Bob Marley movie is out. I know you by the time you get this, you'll have watched the thing. It's all good vibes, it's all big vibes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, big shout out to all my sponsors. A big shout out to all my well wishers and everybody else. Yeah, Candid Conversations, we're in here. Listen, you know what we do in Candid Conversation? Crisscross across the globe, touching all creatives and artists to do, you know, contribute positively to the society and all that. Yes, a big shout out to all my sponsors and well wishes again. A big shout out to Trigger Accountants, they keep the lights on. A big shout out to Bush and Wine Adventures. It's nearly Easter. You know how they get down if you want a tour, all that type of thing, vacation. Check them out. Yeah. A big shout out to Asakata Kandanda Mtaani, my man Jonjo, mentoring the kids and all that type of thing. Beautiful thing. A big shout out to OWF, Olympia Fuller Foundations, and the things you're doing in the society. And a big shout out to my man Chris Chimano, na sanaa yetu mtaani. You know how we get down. Yeah, we link up with this man, Jubba, Jubba. That's Jubba White. Yeah, well, very soon, Ras Jubba White is gonna join us. Sweet reggae music, you see them? Yes, sir. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of them candid convo. Like I hinted before, we're in here feeling highly blessed, like the big man up there is my favorite daddy and all that type of thing. Listen, it's reggae music. We said we're heavy on that reggae team. Yeah, Black History Month and all that type of thing. Listen, today we figure today, let's play you some sweet reggae music. Right. Listen, Candid Convo, we're in here. You know how we get down, crisscrossing across the globe, reaching all creatives and all them type of people who give this positive vibes and positive benefit to the society. So today, like I said before, we were crisscrossing, doing our 1-2s, and we back up to this lion right here, this fraster right here, this king right here, the man called Jubba White. Forgive me, Jubba White. He's always operating from Kingston, Jamaica, where he was born, to somewhere around Oregon. You'll catch him on the road and doing all the tours and that type of thing, right? So Jubba White is gonna join us in a few minutes, Eddie. Those are the vibes. You hear that? Yes, sir. Listen, you know the drill, click, subscribe, do the thing, tell your friend to tell your friend. Mr. Jubba White, welcome to the show. Are you keeping, my brother?
Yeah, man, enough respect, man. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Same way here, man. Same way here. So we played sweet reggae music tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just threw a surprise to me. You say you're featuring one of my fellow countrymen in this one here.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Alex E. Marshall, you know?
Listen, Aleki Marshall nakusakanya mzee. Niaje nasikia mambo yako hii mtaani na yo, come on my guy. I need to link up with Mr. Aleki Marshall later on.
You will, man. We'll make the connection.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Sweet reggae music. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you keeping? You all right?
I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I'm currently in Oregon and it's the winter season. So yeah. So it's not snowing currently, but you know it's been raining. But guess what? We give thanks for all 4 seasons.
Same way still. We give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Now talk to me, right? Obviously Jamaican descent, born and growing, jumped down. How was it, and how was it your formative years, and how did we get here with this musical journey? Just give us a little background.
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in Clarendon, which is the south central of the island. Did elementary school there, did high school. And so the journey started, I'd say, you know, probably or most likely in the womb. You know, my mom, you know, as soon as I guess I was, you know, like came up, you know, to that point where I could remember things, you know my memory,
Okay.
you know, brought me back to the years my mom would be around the house, you know, doing her chores, you know, if I want to call it that. You know, she was a housewife, but she also worked. And whenever she was around the home, you know, taking care of things, you know, she would always be singing. You know, if she was in the kitchen, if she was outside planting flowers or, you know, her herbs and stuff, she was always singing at the top of her voice. So, you know, maybe as early as 3, 4, 5 years old, you know, I was already hitting on pots and pans and you know, and kind of replicating her vibration by singing on top of my you know, voice too. Yes. So I'd have to say started in the womb, you know, and as early as a toddler, you know, I was, you know, exercising, you know, the same things, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's where it started.
That's a beautiful thing. You're saying when mom was making ackee and saltfish and them thing there, she was chanting and singing, and that time like, you're right, okay. Before the Kalaloo get ready, my man is already all right.
Maybe some of my singing was, you know what, cook some dumpling and banana.
Right.
So we have sweet and sweet potato. Yeah, man. So that was the beginning of the journey, and I also, you know, I kind of was raised in the church. You know, my parents, you know, were like foundation members of, you know, the church where, you know, we went to. And so as young as 8 years old, you know, I was
the
already
Sunday school choir.
I was already the drummer of the church. I was already, you know, that little youngster that, you know, was singing. And them have a thing called rally that them used to keep where, you know, if you have talent, if you go up on the stage, you go sing and you do well, you know, people would throw down some money and say, we want to hear it one more time, you know?
Right.
And so, you know, my confidence, I think, grew as a result of, you know, being able to stand in front of familiar faces and did what I really was fond of and loved doing, you know, which was music. You know, so I give a lot of credit to, you know, that part of the journey.
That part of your life, and because they say we are product of our environment, and if that's what it was, it would like they were pouring into you like all this season. Then that's a beautiful thing, brother, and that's why maybe like at the risk of I don't want to sound old, That's when I look at me picnic, I'm like, man, Yala is missing too much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
just from one gadget to the next, mother. You
For
see
real,
them
man.
ones there. I'm like,
For
yo,
real, man.
you could be out, you could be making friends, social skills, you could be doing all this really, you know what I mean? But hey, man, like I said, at the risk of sounding old, I don't want to do that. So from 8, you're doing all this. 8, you're playing the drum and you're singing in
Yeah.
church, and
Yeah.
and then it's a slow progression, right? All the
Yeah,
way
man.
through. So you basically it's in you, and that's your lifestyle. It's not like something,
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? Right.
Yeah, man.
So I'm wondering, right? Being that your parents were all Christians and all that, foundation
Mhm.
Christians, that means not a lot of reggae music was playing in the house then.
Well, you know what the radio was on,
Mm.
and it's like they never really, there wasn't much filtering because there was not a lot to filter based on the fact that what was being played. It's not like now in the internet age where, we're open and susceptible to,
Yeah,
regardless of your age, you're open and susceptible to anything because it's open format kind of situation, with the internet. With radio, when we were listening to, national radio back then, and there were not many options either.
yeah.
The
I remember
programs were yeah, the programs were curated, for family
for
setting.
family. Yeah,
You know,
it was the
yeah,
best. Yeah, they were programmed for
y-
family consumption,
yeah, man,
basically. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man,
I remember
and
them days.
so yeah, man, and so there wasn't any need for much filtering,
Mm,
and so yeah, I heard reggae music. I heard a lot of reggae music,
mm,
and then my siblings, also, which is one of the reasons why I covered my most recently released single is
mm.
because that artist, Dennis Brown, is the crown prince of reggae,
Oh yeah,
was the
yeah.
the favorite artist of my siblings growing up. So they had records around, you know what I
Wow.
mean? And so yeah, I mean, I was, hearing reggae music. I was hearing jazz music on Sundays,
Mm,
because back then during Sundays there was a program, that
mm,
would play a lot of jazz and contemporary, music. So I was open to a lot of things. And, if we look at how, where Jamaica is located geographically, it's in a very strategic location where we are getting a lot of what's coming out of the
oh,
US, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
there's also Cuba, only
yeah,
90 miles away from Kingston.
yeah,
So
yeah.
our airwaves, had different influences, coming through. So
Wow.
yeah, reggae was a big part of, my
You're growing
development.
up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
And,
man.
and to be precise, like you just said, which would have been my next question, like Dennis Brown was on heavy rotation in your house.
Oh, yeah, man. Dennis Brown was on every rotation. And, when you have older siblings, you look up to them.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then, and it's not just because you have older siblings why you look up to them, but I also had siblings that were great to me. So was even more reasons, to kind of look at what they were doing, you know, a lot of the things that, music and everything, that they were doing, I kind of followed, you know,
Yeah,
in their footsteps, for some things.
yeah.
So yeah, D Brown, Dennis Brown, the crown prince of reggae. I was listening to a lot of Black Guru, of course,
One of my
Bob
favorites.
Marley.
One of my favorites.
Yeah,
Black
yeah,
Uhuru,
yeah, was
remember Solidarity.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
My tune today.
You're true that. Yeah. And you know what?
uh,
That's such an important, you mentioned that word. It's such an important word, especially right now in today's society. There,
mhm.
I mean, solidarity exists, but probably not,
the
on the
way
scale that we would
we would like to, yeah, we would like for it to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man.
basically, there was enough reggae and there was enough, it was a wide range of taste, musical taste when it was coming out, from jazz to
Yeah, man.
reggae to everything,
Yeah,
which is a
man.
beautiful thing, right?
Yeah, man.
Right. So, like at 8, you're in front of the crowds, and then there's
Yeah.
there's all this knowledge, all this pouring of all these nice foundation artists and all that. So, how was it now as a teenager and your
Yeah.
first time, like what your first time recording or your first time in a studio session and thing?
Yeah. Well, when a dream is a dream, it's it comes with so much joy when you start experiencing, the things that you dreamt of but never really understood,
Oh yeah.
what it would take to get there. My first time recording was in Tough Gang Studios in Kingston. See? And that was at the age of 17 years old.
Wow.
Right?
Listen, brother,
Yeah,
you
man.
jumped the bar, you went straight to Tough Gong.
Yeah, man. But you know what? All through my years in high school, right? I've been reminded by a lot of, my previous classmates, high school classmates, stuff that, you were all about music, Jubba. Because I was, it was music and sports. I was good in school, right? But somehow it was so evident, what my
Where your passion
what
was.
my calling,
Your calling,
what my
your
calling was, and my passion, and where my journey, would have taken me, So even in high school, I was already, performing with one of the you would consider one of the most popular gospel groups, in the country, right? That group is called the Ambassadors. So they usually sing gospel music.
All
And
right.
yeah, man, and I was the one youngster.
Now it was, and you was by 17, you had already been with this the ambassadors who are all over the place performing gospel songs and all that. Yeah. So
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
in a way, you had honed your skills, like your vocal skills and that type of thing. You had honed that, yeah.
Drumming, because
Oh, you was a
drumming,
drummer all this
yeah, the
time.
drummer,
Okay.
yeah, man. This whole
All
time I
right.
was a drummer.
Right, right,
And
right.
so, yeah, during those same years, high school years, we had a collective of musicians, four of us as close friends, from two of my good friends from one high school, another which was my best friend since we were 5 years old in another high school, and then me from another, and we
All
usually
right.
get together. Usually get together and play music under the name of the other colleague, the other two colleagues who are in one high school together. Under the name of that high school, we went as their high school band. So every event that their high school was doing, we would be the official band, to play some music and thing. And we went on, to create a vibe together where we ended up touring. We started touring together, as teenagers, 19 years old.
Wow.
19, 20, two of us, were 20 years old. I was 19, other colleague was 18. And that was such an experience. We were now in Edna Manley School of the Visual and Performing Arts. So this is music school in Kingston.
All
Right?
right. Okay.
Yeah, man. And by my second year, we started touring. And one would say, being in college for music, that's considered higher education for music. But then, when we started hitting the road with people like
That's
the
when
Mighty
you ran.
Diamonds,
Ooh.
that was real college. The Mighty Diamonds, you know, the
Surface.
Tones, the Ethiopians, you, Max Romeo,
you
know,
all
like
the big name there. All the big name there.
yeah, man.
And
Yeah, man.
you're still 19.
We're 19 at the time. Yeah. And so it's like it's from one school to another school, you know, because
that's the
you know,
real school now.
That's a real school right there, right?
Yeah.
Because what end up happening now is you're not only having to play the music in the way that those elders would be able to feel it and appreciate it, but now you were also, you know, getting all those foundational lessons and, you know, like everything that had to do with how the music started, how it got to where it's at, right? And just they were like godfathers, you know,
Listen,
around
brother,
us, you know,
that's
on the
the
road,
best.
you know what I
That's
mean?
the best. That's the best way you can calm up in this type of thing. If you like,
Yeah,
you
man.
basically you're sitting at the feet of the foundation fathers. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The highest practitioners. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're with them, seeing them getting about the business. That's the best way anybody can learn about anything, brother.
Exactly.
Brother. That was beautiful.
Exactly.
And that was before you were 20, brother.
And that was right before 20 years old, going into 20. And that continued for several years.
Right.
You know, that was like we were on the road at least 2 to 3 times a year, you know, for at least 4 to 6 weeks at a time on any one of those tours, you know. So, you know, sometimes it would be a spring tour followed by a summer tour, you know, and then, you know, it would sometimes be an autumn tour, you know, so like a September, October, November kind of thing. And then sometimes it would be a winter tour where we're there in Europe and drive around in the snow and, you know, and all of them things there, you know. So it was not just the experience through the music, but experience
in life, in the school of life.
You know, yeah, man.
Because you see, where people don't understand, right? Where people don't understand, like touring life, it's a whole different ball game, brother. You see what I'm saying?
Total different ball game.
It's a different type of living from hotel to hotel. What you gonna eat well? How you gonna keep yourself clean? You see them ones there. How you gonna rest?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
because
then
sometimes
are you gonna be presentable and then still save your energy? Because when you step on stage,
exactly,
it's different. For them that don't know touring, it's a whole different thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. And even though at that time, you know, the music industry was a little different in the sense that it might have been a little bit more lucrative, you know, so you know, we might have had our tour bus with our bunks where everybody had their beds and stuff. But then the thing about it is that after driving for 6 hours and sometimes 15 hours,
half the day, you know, the whole day, like half the day,
an entire day, and then you know you probably don't have time to check into your hotel first, so you end up have to go straight to the venue,
straight to sound checkup.
Yes, sound check, scene, and then from sound check, you don't have time to go to your hotel either. You stay right there at the venue. You know, you go on stage, you do your show, and then by you know everything is done 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. You know, like that's the time you're seeing your hotel bed for the first time, and maybe just maybe you have to wake up at 6 the next morning to move again.
Yeah, because you have another venue tomorrow night. You're playing somewhere else.
6 or 10 hours away.
Brother.
So you know, it's a journey, and you know, but it's been such a blessing, man, because of all
the people you've met, what you've learned, you know? The people you've met.
Yeah, man.
Different culture.
And just exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's opened my mind, you know, on such a scale, you know, that you know, it's just a blessing. Just a blessing.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Now, that answers the question, how come your first recording was in Tafungong? Because you've been brushing shoulders with the heavy hitters. You've been brushing shoulders with them lot, isn't it?
But you know what?
Right.
It's how I'd put it now. My first time actually recording in Tough Gang was not even with any of those elders. It was with another young colleague that wanted to start and start his music career. And he was ambitious enough. We were the same age, right? But he was ambitious enough to go for the first time, right? In a professional recording studio, get the experience and record his thing. It was my second time in Tough Gang after that was 2 years later with the Ethiopians when we did the album Tougher Than Stone. I think that was Leonard Dillon's last album before he passed away.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, man. Interesting. Interesting. Listen, talk to me about this one here. Sunshine.
Sunshine Day. All right, what you know?
Easy skanking, innit?
Easy skanking tune, and we love to skank. As my thing is sing and dance.
Yes,
my thing is, make a joyful noise. And
I love that. I love that.
In our music, we deal with current affairs, but I personally love to see people happy. I personally love to see people together, and I love to sing about love. I love to sing about love. I love to sing about togetherness, right? And I love to sing about brighter days, right? So Sunshine Day is one of those songs that speaks to an individual basically finding the sunshine in any situation, right?
Try and find the good of it.
Yeah, man. And so we know in life, we live a life of duality, right? So in everything we're gonna experience positive as well as negative.
The negative,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so therefore, if we want to make it even more literal, I'm here now and it's winter. And a couple weeks ago, we had snowstorm, right? And we had ice storm, right? And that kind of weather makes a lot of people sad and down because it's really gloomy, right? But guess what? Now it's up to you, the individual, to exert that sunshine. Create that sunshine not just for yourself, but for people.
The people around you also,
around you. Yeah. So Sunshine Day, every day can be a holiday. See? That's the vibe.
That's the vibe. Easy skanking, see. And that's what, to me, the beauty of reggae music, to me, like personally, right? The beauty of reggae music is the message of reggae music, which, number one, if you talk to me about reggae music, the first thing that comes to mind is love. You know what I mean? It's love. Yeah. It's love first, you know what I mean? Reggae music always leads with love, and that's why it will never fail. It will never fail. Listen to the names we're talking about, the Ethiopians. They're reggae artists that still, I'm a DJ, so when I'm up there, you throw out the Ethiopian, they're still easy skanking. You see them ones there.
Yeah, man.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to know, like, and then sometimes you throw a tune that you think is just special to you, and then you see some youth in the dance floor singing tune by tune, like, going word by word. You're like, so you see frequency thing, yeah. So that's a beautiful thing. That's what I think.
Word sound power, man, and as it said, word frequency. That's what music is.
Yeah.
And while we'll say, you know, I want to still make sure I put this into perspective because while, you know, reggae music is a music of love, you know, like really and truly, that's the foundation of it, right? But it's a revolutionary music.
Yeah,
And
equality.
when we it's about equality,
Quality,
right?
love,
Right?
treat me the way
Yeah,
I treat you, that type of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's equality,
Mm.
it's justice. You
Yeah.
know, it's a music that deals with all these issues that
Yeah.
we
Social
see,
issue.
social issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about it is the core of all of that is one love. You
That's
know,
it.
so sometimes we have these discussions and you know, people might, you know, you might have some of us that might take offense to the fact that when we speak of reggae music and because, you know, One Love, a song from Bob Marley, you know, a lot of people have that song as an anthem, you know, globally. And because, you know, that's the side that, you know, many will embrace without really understanding the entirety of the song and why the song is one love and why the mission is one love. But all of that is as a result of the opposite that's happening.
The duality,
you know,
the duality you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, why we have to sing about one love and we have to highlight the ills, you know,
we
that
still
makes us need to sing about one love.
We still need to ban the injustice. We still need to ban the equality. And the reason we want to ban the equality is because
we want one love.
We want one love. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
Like honest reggae music with honest music. That's what I call it. Honest social commentary music. You get it? Nobody does it better than reggae music. Since conception up until now, right? Which kind of leads me to my next question is, right? You've been in the game you are a veteran, brother. From 19 to now, veteran. You know what I mean? You've seen them come, you've seen them go, you've seen all the changes, and that's why you can attest to it. You can say it's all love, and we still ban injustice. We still speak about that. But you, as Jubba White, you choose to speak about the positive side of it, but you understand the duality of it, right?
Exactly.
So in comes this monster called social media.
Yeah.
Right. Now talk to me. How has social media, talk to me what to you has been the positives and like the negatives of social media with music, according to what you think.
All right, the positives and the negatives. Again, duality. And you know, in a lot of these things, we also have to take into consideration perception. And like with everything in life that's created, right? Even if, you know, the intent behind the creation of something was positive or pure, there's every tool, right? Every tool can be used in various ways. You know, a hammer can be used to build, but it can also be used to break. You know what I mean? And social media is a tool. You know, these platforms are tools, you know, to be used, you know, to our benefit and to our growth. You know, and like with many things, you know, the same. You know, and so what I'll say is that while I embrace, you know, there is the perspective, you know, that it also breaks. You know what I mean? And I think about balance, and we all know that no one really can find a perfect balance because we're human beings. See?
Yes.
And
Yes.
one could also say that we're perfectly imperfect because I don't know what perfection looks like. You know,
Right. We're
I'm
still
in no
in
position
pursuit.
to say,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
still
you
in
know,
pursuit of being a better human being, better individuals.
exactly. Um, you know, but social media, it has its positives and it has its negatives. And, you know, a lot of times our own conscience is what will be the guide, you know, as to,
Yeah.
you know, when it gets overboard, you know,
Right,
when
right,
to reel in, you know, a bit.
right.
But for what it does for music
Mm-hmm.
and the independence of artists,
Uh-huh.
it's done great. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
it's done great.
Mm.
You know, so you know, I'm not against, and
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say I'm overly for. It's
yeah.
just that as an individual,
Uh-huh.
the balance,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know,
You
is trying to find that balance
trying to find
is
a
very
balance as a
important.
creative,
Yeah,
because basically,
yeah,
in the side you're saying in the business
yeah,
side, social media
yeah,
really help your creativity, and kind of similar, because now artists can be independent, they can, what I mean, move on their own without,
exactly,
you see what I'm saying? So on the
exactly.
business side, it
Yeah,
has helped a lot, right?
it
And
has
then
helped a lot.
there's this other side of like the messaging and also the making. That's where I
Yeah,
have gripes with the messaging and then the
yeah,
making, which kind
yeah,
of, to me personally, right?
yeah,
The messaging and the making of the music, social media's kind of lowered the bar. You understand?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
lowered the bar in the artistry, the messaging
Right,
and the making. You see what I'm saying? So it comes in such a way like the important message is being like there's so much noise about these other messages that we really don't need. You understand?
right,
That are
right,
really
right.
not like, or for as human beings, too much consumption of that type of message, or just of anything without a balance
Right.
is detrimental, right? As
Well,
human beings.
what I'll say to that is that's why I say you know, the duality that exists,
Yeah, yeah.
and then, you know, like once we delve into certain topics, we there's a rabbit hole that we could end up down that, you
I
know,
feel
there's never any return, you know what I mean?
there's no plan, but that's the thing, and that's why I say,
Yeah,
to me personally,
yeah,
reasoning with people like you helps
yeah,
me kind of readjust my. You understand? I know this is what I'm
yeah,
supposed to do, but it's
yeah,
kind of like now plant that you can. Yeah, it's not to go without water, but at some point you still need to water the plant. You see them ones there.
exactly,
Yeah, so
exactly,
it's the same
exactly.
case, my brother. It's the same case, but we still
Yeah,
give
man,
thanks same way, innit? Because look, we're vibing now. We're holding a vibe, and it's the internet, isn't it?
exactly,
So that's where
exactly.
we
That's
appreciate
why I
that
say
one.
exactly
We appreciate
the
that one, my
balance.
brother. The
Yeah, man,
balance.
the balance, man, the
Listen.
balance. But here this too.
Mm,
Um, as you just mentioned, it's the reason why this is important,
mm,
right? This, you know, us that wants to, you know, do our part in our not only our personal elevation, but you know, the elevation of communities,
yeah.
utilizing, you know, the platforms in a way that will, you know, give that energy, right? um because the reality of the situation is that we realize that a lot of things that are that can be self-destructive
Yeah.
are somehow seem to be very attractive.
Very attractive,
And
luminous,
yeah,
and very inviting. Yeah, you
yeah,
understand.
and we all at times, you know,
I've fallen
become
prey to that.
victim of
Yes.
and fallen prey to it, you
Yeah.
know. And so what we're seeing, is as a result of the same. It's no one is exempt from that kind of situation, but it's almost like, like center yourself, rebalance, and and navigate, kind of situation. And so I feel like, for me, especially as a parent, I have two young men. It's their age, it's the age where everything is like
I
this.
know exactly what you're talking
You have a
about, my
personal
brother.
computer. You know what I mean?
I know
And
what
so
you're talking
everything,
about.
yeah, man, everything from school, to entertainment, everything from
The
education to
the
entertainment.
homework is in there. That's what I'm telling
Everything
you.
is right here.
Yeah.
Everything is right.
And
And
we give,
that's full
yeah.
time.
But yeah, we give thanks, brother. Let's move to this one here. You got
Yeah.
me going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Better tunes. Vibe it.
Beneath the sky, the world starts to bloom. So much as we haven't seen, you got me smiling.
Talk to me about this one. Like you said, you like singing about love, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
seeing people together. This is a classic one of them type of vibes, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And that was one of the first love songs I wrote. This was written in 2006.
Right.
Yeah, man. It was written in 2006.
Okay.
And at the time when I wrote that song, I didn't write it to sing it myself because I didn't consider myself a singer. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, man. The drums have been like my instrument. And even though I was singing when I was younger in church, the drums was the closest thing to me. And even after putting, a band together, you might be familiar, Dub Tonic Crew, we basically, represented not just ourselves, but also Jamaica in a band competition, where we went to Malaysia. We were among 17 bands representing their countries. This was in 2011.
All right.
And we came back with the top prize, best little band in the world. Whatever that, yeah. So, in reality, even though, the evolution from, playing when I was younger in high school to touring with, a lot of these legends and founding fathers of reggae, to, being in the studio recording, and a lot of hits that, were also #1 on the Billboard chart, to where now decided, wanting to create something, for ourselves.
Right.
And, at that time, it became a situation where we had a 5-member band, self-contained band. And even though I would write and sing parts of some songs, I didn't consider myself
a singer. Yeah.
Right. I was just the drummer that would sing, like a verse or a few lines.
Or the chorus would back up the chorus.
Yeah. But this song was written for another artist, to sing. And it never, manifested the way, I had imagined. Because the artist has kind of did, give them career arrest for a little bit. And I was like, you know what, I think this is such a beautiful song and it should not go to waste. So 2016, I decided, 10 years later, I decided to go in the voicing booth.
Right.
And do the song myself. And that's it. That's what you're hearing now. You got me going on. You can't tell when you write that song and the woman the next to me too, you know?
Yeah.
Things just starting new, and the world start to blue. So much has been happening, still you got me smiling.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna catch this, we're vibing with Jubba White. We're gonna drop all his links here so that you can catch him later. Like vibes and vibes and vibes, bare vibes, my brother. Yes.
Yeah, man, respect, man,
Listen,
respect.
Candid Convo in here. Mr. Jubba White, can you please tell them like your handles, where they can find you on social media or anything like that?
Yeah, man, definitely. So Jubba White, it's JUBBA WHITE. And you know, I'm all over the World Wide Web. So you can find my website, jubbawhite.com. You can find me on Instagram, Jubba White. You can find me on Facebook, Jubba White, you know, TikTok, YouTube.
There we go.
All over the place.
All over the place, brother.
Yeah, if you don't want to be confused, you can just go straight to my website. And my website will lead you, you know, to all these platforms. So once again, JUBBA WHITE.
Right.
JubbaWhite.com.
About the website, yeah, it's independent, right? You're flowing from your website, they can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yo, people, link the website first, yeah, because then it's better that way, innit? Yo, my people, if you're feeling the vibe, link the website first. Then we come down to the TikTok and the thingy ready.
Yeah,
now,
man. Yeah, man.
Yes. Now, listen, let me ask you something, yeah?
Yeah.
What would you do if you had the world?
Why? You know what? If I had the world, in this song I said I'd give it to you, but you know what? I'll share it because I have to have for myself too.
All right.
If I had the world, do you? Yeah.
I give it to you.
You know what they do when I tune nice, yeah? You know what they do when I tune nice? Yeah, they play it twice, my brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm vibing to this. Tune. Originally done by Dennis Brown, right?
Yeah, man. Crown Prince of Reggae.
Crown Prince of Reggae.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've been really honored today. We hang to get to vibe with Mr. Jubba White, right? Yeah.
The pleasure is mine, man.
We love it, brother. Listen,
Respect.
This is definitely you paying homage to somebody who really influenced you, right? Your music taste, right?
Yeah, man.
The Crown Prince of Reggae. Yeah, listen.
No doubt.
It's a vibe. It's very beautiful. It's available on all platforms, on all DSPs and everything.
It is.
Yeah. Nice. Good night, Baba. Yeah. Listen, my brother. It's been nice. It's been lovely, and we'll keep in touch. I'm a fan now. I've been feeling very blessed the beginning of this year. Like there's just been bare good music coming my way. You understand? Like been just good food. I'm yumming good food like
man,
that's now, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm yumming a lot of bare mama's cooking is coming my way, my brother.
Yeah, man.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving it all the way. So this has been one of those occasions. I'm really humbled, pleasured, and honored. And make sure to keep an eye out for you. And I got the tune, so when I'm out, I'll definitely play my part, definitely.
Yeah, man. I appreciate love that, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. DJ Lopo.
Yes,
Much
sir.
respect and thanks, you know.
We give thanks, my
Yeah,
brother.
man. Respect,
Bless,
man.
bless.
Yeah, and you know what? A
Yeah.
plug for this week. One Love.
Right.
Marley, One Love.
The movie.
And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, man. I think everybody that loves reggae
should go out
tell
there.
everybody that
Yeah.
doesn't know about this movie and go and check it. because it
Listen,
says
they
a lot.
all know. They all know it's the #1 movie in the world right
Just
now.
cool, man. And we're gonna make it stay that way there for a long time.
For a long
Because
time,
this-
yeah.
Yeah, man. Because this is a piece of our culture that the world, you know, have embraced for a long time, but probably don't have too much of the in-depth, you know, story behind the culture itself. You know, so yeah.
Exactly, like we had said earlier, it's kind of like that's the cornerstone, that's the basics of the whole. That's the ethos of the whole thing. One love, right?
One love,
and,
man.
And that's the man who brought it out. He coined it. He spoke it to existence. He did his work. So you just have to embrace it. You see them out there.
Yeah, man.
You just have to embrace it. I really give thanks, my brother, and bless up. You take care.
Respect. Thank you very much.
Same
yeah,
way
man.
here,
We continue to live. Yeah, man. Enough respect. Blessed. Yeah.
Blessed.